Hello guys, welcome back to Empower Tutorials. This is your master teacher Dr. Sona. Yes guys, how's everyone doing? So yes, welcome back to this amazing series of the MCQ sessions that we are holding currently. So here I am with another fun-filled session on human physiology that has something to do deal with reproduction. So let's go ahead and see some MCQs from reproduction this time. I hope guys you all have subscribed to the channel and are going through everything so that you all are not missing out on our regular classes as well as these MCQ classes. So please go through all our sessions on the channel. If you all have not liked the channel, please do subscribe. All right? Okay, just give me a minute. Seems to be some problem. Yes. So theory sessions, we have lectures on reproduction in our channel on the YouTube. We have our regular session on reproduction. So before we are going ahead with this MCQ lecture, I would request all of you to please go through those theory sessions as well, so that it becomes easy for you all to have a things of the MCQs, right? So that you all don't get confused between the options as well. Okay. So let's begin. During favorable conditions, amoeba reproduces by. Okay. Now, all these type of reproduction that we have seen, the types, right? We know that majorly the types are classified into sexual and asexual reproduction. Now, what is asexual? Asexual, in simple terms, you can say where the gametes or the sex organs are not involved, right? Now, we have this sexual and asexual reproduction in plants as well as in animals or in organisms, right? So, broad classifications, sexual and asexual. Sexual is where the gametes or sex organs are involved. Now, it can be male, female, or it is unisexual, bisexual, all that kind, but it still comes in the broad category of sexual reproduction. Okay. Yes. So now, during favorable condition, amoeba reproduces by. Okay. Now, firstly, what is fission? You need to know what is fission. Fission, again, there are two types, that is binary fission and multiple fission. What is binary? You must know binary means two. Okay, the word binary means two. So suppose if one cell is dividing, it will further form two cells. That is binary fission. What is multiple fission? One cell will divide into further many more cells, into multiple cells. So that is multiple fission. So that is multiple fission, binary fission. Then budding. Now, how does budding look like? Let me just show you all. Now, say suppose if this is one part of this thing, it will start budding like this. इसके ऊपर buds आना start हो जाएंगे. This is budding. ठीक है? This is how budding takes place. Multiple fission and binary fission is simple. One is going to split into two, and multiple में one is going to split into many. That is multiple fission. Now, what is fragmentation? Now, if this is say one organism. Now, if you should know that the most common example of fragmentation is Spirogyra. Okay, Spirogyra reproduces by fragmentation. So one single fragment will form multiple small fragments. Okay, that is fragmentation, as the name suggests. So that is about these four types. So now amoeba is going to reproduce by binary fission. Okay, so the correct answer for amoeba reproduction is binary fission, one splitting into two cells. All right. Yes, let's go ahead. Okay. A feature of reproduction that is common to amoeba, yeast, and spirogyra is that. Okay. Now, what are the options given? Let's go through all first. First one is they reproduce asexually. Amoeba का हमने just देखा binary fission है. Okay, same thing. Spirogyra, I just told you it is fragmentation. And yeast is by budding. ये जो मैंने method यहाँ पे दिखाया, yeast will reproduce by budding. ठीक है? So we know now these three methods are all asexual. So ये point तो correct है. आगे, they are all unicellular. Okay, amoeba, yeast, and spirogyra. Amoeba we know, yeast and spirogyra is unicellular? Question mark. Go to the next point. They reproduce only sexually. अगर हमने first point को tick किया है तो third point तो question में ही नहीं है. Omit it. Next, they are all multicellular. Now again we know about amoeba. See, so you are seeing where and how we are omitting out MCQs. अगर फर्स्ट दो ऑप्शंस में आप क्लियर हो तो नीचे के दो ऑप्शंस कोई इंपॉर्टेंस ही नहीं रखते. ओके, सो किड्स व्हेन यू ऑल स्टार्ट डूइंग दिस एमसीक्यूज ना, मतलब एक बार आप लोगों को आदत हो जाएगी ना टू सॉल्व दिस एमसीक्यूज, like when you actually start solving these test series and everything for all your entrance exams, say NEET, JEE and all of that, you all will actually learn the tricks to how to like quickly come down to answer even if you don't know the answer. Okay, firstly ऐसा होता है कि you try to omit out or evict out the option which you know कि ये तो पक्का नहीं होगा. Then you are left with 3 options. Then उसमें से ऐसा बहुत बार होता है that you are confused between 2. Kick out the third one also. So now you are left with 2. From 4 you have come down to 2. Then you have to start using your brain, little bit theory of what you have studied about that subject, and then go ahead with the answer. All right. So but try that you all don't reach that stage. You all actually study well, and you all are in a condition to actually attempt the answers correctly. Okay. So yes, here as we are very clear that they all reproduce asexually. So A is the answer for this. Okay. Now going ahead. इसको बंद करना पड़ेगा एक सेकेंड ना. Yes. Okay. The ability of a cell to divide into several cells during reproduction in plasmodium is called. Cell to divide into several cells. We just saw it is called multiple fission. So now we have, earlier we saw examples of binary fission, yeast wala, Spirogyra wala. Now we know one example of multiple fission also, which is plasmodium. Okay. Yes. Next. Bryophyllum can be propagated vegetatively by. Okay, now basically what is vegetative propagation? Vegetative means by these vegetative plants or parts of the plants, you can say. Propagation is the growth process carries on. It gets propagated further from one to the other. तो ऐसा. तो अब इसमें bryophyllum specific example जो दिया है, इसमें which part plays that role? Okay, so yes, it is the leaf. Whenever we are studying about bryophyllum, you will always notice big diagrams of leaves, via which we go into more of the theory. So yes, it is the leaf via which the bryophyllum gets vegetatively propagated. Okay. Okay, going ahead. Vegetative propagation refers to formation of new plants from. Now first option क्या है? Stem, flowers and fruits. Flowers and fruits are not playing a role in reproduction. ठीक है, या growth propagation. Flowers and fruits खुद ही is, you can say, like a seed and then the fruit comes from it. Okay. Next is stem, leaves and flowers. Now we have already omitted flowers. Next, stem, roots and flowers. We have already omitted flowers. Stem, root and leaf. Okay, so yes, it is that stem, root and leaf. So vegetative propagation takes place via stem, root and leaf. Okay, just keep this in mind. In a potato, vegetative propagation takes place by. Okay, now you should know this. Potatoes, or if you have heard or had sweet potatoes, okay, they are always put in the category of stem tubers. Okay, they are called also stem tubers sometimes, like they are referred to as stem tubers. Okay, so that is the reason why they are referred to as stem tubers, because the vegetative propagation happens via the stem tubers. Okay, so it is stem tubers via which the vegetative propagation takes place. Now here we have an option grafting. ठीक है, अब grafting क्या होता है? I'll tell you. Now see what they do in grafting is, now suppose you have this tree, ठीक है, and this is a stunted tree, yeah, iska growth is stunted, yeah, whatever. They will take a piece of this tree from its bark or from whatever, stem, root, leaf, anything. They'll take a part of it and they will then graft it on the other tree. Okay, तो इससे क्या होगा? वो ट्री के अंदर के all the minerals and say ions and everything present in that part of that tree gets grafted, or say gets attached to this other part where we are actually grafting this tree. Now I will explain this to you with regards to say actual what happens in humans. Okay, now what happens is when people undergo jaw surgeries or face surgeries, ठीक है, तो say बाहर के तरफ से, if they are undergoing some surgery, if there is a huge wound or if there is a huge cut over here on the cheek, say, so what they do is, what doctors do is, they will take a skin graft. Okay, it is called as a skin graft from any other healthy part of the body, say hands, say legs, say thighs, or something like that. ठीक है, वहां से healthy part skin का cut करके और remove करके they will attach it over here with stitches. That is taking skin from one part and attaching it to the other. This process is known as grafting. Okay, then those stitches and all will like dry off after some time, and those stitches and all are removed and everything. So वो skin वहाँ पे combine हो जाती है. Okay, so that is the process of grafting which happens in humans otherwise. So in plants also it is the same thing. Part of the plant or tree वहां से cut करके उसको दूसरे tree पे graft किया जाता है. That is known as grafting. Okay. Yes. Next, vegetative propagated plants dash do not bear roots, do not bear buds. Now अगर buds नहीं होंगे तो forward propagation कैसे होगा? Roots तो we know vegetative propagation होता है root से, तो they of course have roots, they of course have buds. Next, they are genetically similar and they are genetically dissimilar. Now, can a tomato plant give us potato? Can a apple plant give us mango? No, right? The genes has to be same. Can monkeys reproduce humans or can humans reproduce cats? No, right? So genetics has to be same. That is basically, you can say, the basis of every kind of reproduction. So it is, the answer is they should be genetically similar. Going ahead, Spirogyra reproduces by, yes, so we have just seen this. Spirogyra reproduces by fragmentation. ठीक है, Spirogyra reproduces by fragmentation. We've just seen this in the earlier examples. Next, in Rhizopus, tubular thread-like structures bearing the sporangia at their tips. How does that look like? If you all have studied the chapter, now see, these are, say, those thin tubular-like structures. Uspe na, ऐसे on the Rhizopus, they will have these small round-like structures, and uske tips pe they will have this dotted kind of things. Okay, so ये tubular thread-like structures हैं. Okay, they are having these sporangia present over it, जिसके ऊपर ये ऐसा dot जैसा structure होगा. So this what is present, okay, that tubular thread-like structure are known as hyphae. Do not get confused. Rhizopus दिया है तो rhizoids मत लिखना. What are rhizoids? Rhizoids are the you can say adaptation of roots. Okay, rhizoids has something to do with roots, nothing to do with tubular thread-like structures. So tubular thread-like structures are known as hyphae. Okay, why? What people do is people get confused. Rhizopus है तो इसका आंसर rhizoids होगा. It's not. ठीक है, please keep this in mind. Next, plants like banana, rose, jasmine, and orange have lost the capacity to produce what? What have they lost the capacity to produce? Yes. Now see, these are basically going to be the plants or say the trees or species which have to be vegetatively or artificially propagated because they have lost the capacity to produce what? Tell me. It has to be seeds, right? If something is becoming infertile, अगर seed ही नहीं डालोगे तो आगे growth कैसे होगा? So basically you can say it is infertility if the seed is only not coming, right? So they have lost the capacity to produce seeds, all right? Keep this in mind. Next thing, the flower of the hibiscus plant is. Now this is the first and the foremost thing we have studied in reproduction or in the chapter of the flower. You should know this by heart. Hibiscus flower is a bisexual flower. It is a bisexual flower because of which we have, like all through our life, we have studied about androecium and gynoecium, the male organ and the female organ in the hibiscus plant. We have done dissections on that flower, right? So it is a bisexual flower. Bisexual means what? Both the sex organs or say both the gametes, male and female, are present in one and one flower. Okay, so that is bisexual. Yes, next. The part of the flower which is present in the center of the flower. What is in the center of the flower? So in the center of the flower is the carpel. See, petals we know. Petals बाहर के जो होते हैं, ठीक है? उसके अंदर जो होते हैं, those are sepals. What are sepals? नीचे green like structures you see, those are sepals. So what is carpels? Carpels is something which is present exactly in the center. That is the carpel. Okay, and stamen is the उसके नीचे का very thin like tubular structure. That is the stamen. Next, the seed that contains the future plant is called. Yes, tell me now. This is so very easy. You should know this. This is as good as same thing for humans as well. Anything containing the baby or anything containing the future generation is the embryo, right? Yes. Next, the period of pregnancy is called. Okay. Now options are gestation period, incubation period, ovulation period, and menstruation period. Menstruation we know is about the menses or say periods or say the regular menstrual cycle that women go through. Ovulation is the period when a woman's body or the ovary releases eggs. That is the period of ovulation. Incubation period. Now, what is incubation period? Incubation period is basically the time from when you are actually infected till the time you start showing symptoms. ठीक है, मतलब अभी आप maybe today you are infected with something, say typhoid, say dengue or whatever. आज infection अगर आपको हुआ है, will your body start showing symptoms? No, right? The bacteria or the virus will start first reacting with your body. The body will recognize that as a foreign particle. Okay. धीरे धीरे within few days your body will start reacting. Symptoms दिखने लगेंगे. तो ये जो बीच का period रहता है from actually getting infected to showing symptoms is known as the incubation period. Alright. So that is incubation. बचा क्या? Gestation. So gestation is nothing but the period of pregnancy. Okay. You must have heard the terms gestational diabetes, gestational BP. Okay. So what is that? That is diabetes or BP that the woman has or that the female starts to get while she is pregnant. Okay. Yes. Going ahead. The process of release of eggs from the ovary. We just saw that is ovulation. Next, the period during adolescence when the reproductive tissues begin to mature. This is a very common term. We've always used this term. It is puberty. Okay. Puberty is when you actually start getting into this young age or say teenage age. So that is teenage is now like a very rough term that we are using. Scientifically, we usually call it puberty. When you are basically when your sex organs start to mature, that is puberty. Next, in human beings, the fertilization occurs in. Okay, now where does the fertilization occur? You see, if you have seen the female structure, it has these two extended hand-out structures, hand-like structures. Just bear with my drawing. Now this is going to be the say the middle part. ये यहाँ से ऐसे structures होते हैं दो. Okay, then यहाँ पे there are these finger-like projections. Here there are these ovaries. ठीक है, तो ये जो hand like structure, now hand like structures again I'm using a very rough term. These are the fallopian tubes. Okay, यहाँ पे होते हैं ये fimbriae, hand like or finger like projections which are having the ovaries and everything, and then release of eggs happens and then this egg will start traveling and everything. And then यहाँ से भी जब through the vagina when there is entry of sperm, this sperm has to travel into the fallopian tube where it is going to meet the egg. ठीक है. So fertilization always occurs in the fallopian tube. Please remember this. Next, along the path of the vas deferens, the secretions of which gland provides nutrition to the sperms. Yes, now vas deferens is again a tubuli-like structure which is present in the male reproductive system. Now there has to be something that is going to provide nutrition to the sperm, right? Now we know that the sperm stays alive for say about 5 to 6 days, or if you have to be completely accurate, around 72 hours. Okay, so now if it has to stay that alive in the body, it needs some nutrition. So what is providing it nutrition? What is that gland? They are these small glandular like structures which are known as the seminal vesicles. Okay, so it is these seminal vesicles which are going to provide nutrition to the sperm. Okay, are we clear with that? Yes. Prostate glands, we know what is that. Then scrotum is the bag-like structure which is present in the male reproductive organs. Urinary bladder is a common bladder that is there in the female as well as the males, where the urine is temporarily stored. Okay. Next, the embryo in humans gets nutrition from the mother's blood with the help of a special tissue called. Okay, now what is that? The baby is present. उसके बाहर एक अलग special covering होता है which is then attached to the mother. Okay, so this outer covering which is there, what is that? In which there is this embryo, that is known as the placenta. Okay, it is a white thin layer which is present. That is nothing but the placenta. Now again, that is for say providing nutrition or say nourishing it. So that is the placenta. So via the placenta, the embryo is going to get nutrition from the mother. Okay, what are villi? Villi are again finger-like projections which are present in the tissue, which to be very specific with reproductive system, these villi are finger-like projections which are always going to help push the sperm, which will help push the sperm go forward because they are finger like projections, they will keep moving like this, like this. ठीक है, तो ऐसे ऐसे करने के चक्कर में what they do is they try to push the sperm inside. So that is a function of the villi. They are finger like projections. They are also present in the small intestine, talking about the digestive system. Uterus is, again, we know, very important reproductory organ, or you can say a organ of the reproductory system of the females. And womb we of course know. All right, next, which among the following diseases is not sexually transmitted? Okay, now basically for any disease to be called as sexually transmitted, what is the basics of that? Okay, where does the basis lie that something get transferred sexually? First thing is syphilis. Let's go through the options. First thing is syphilis, next is hepatitis, next is HIV, and next is gonorrhea. Which of the following diseases is not sexually transmitted? Okay? Gonorrhea has definitely a role to play with the sex organs. Next is HIV. Again, HIV is also a virus which gets spread, you can say probably because of multiple sex partners, when you are not safe, right? So again, HIV is going to be something that is going to be sexually transmitted. Next is, we are left with two options now. One is syphilis and one is hepatitis. So syphilis, if you know, syphilis is very common, that happens in males. Okay, so again, it is a sexually transmitted disorder or a disease. So it is hepatitis which is not sexually transmitted. Okay, we have hepatitis A, B, C. The most common hepatitis that people suffer or go through is hepatitis B, and which is the most commonly found in the dental profession. Okay, which commonly occurs because of a needle prick. All right, so that is about sexually transmitted diseases. Going further, which of the following method of contraception protects from acquiring sexually transmitted diseases? Okay, let's go through the options first. Oral pills, copper T, condoms, and surgery. Okay, now firstly, what surgery is not mentioned here. So how surgery is going to help us stay protected from these sexually transmitted diseases, we don't know. So let's omit the option of surgery. We are left with three options now. Okay. Next, oral pills. Oral pills we are consuming orally. How is it helping us with not transmitting diseases sexually? It is not, right? Oral pills are never going to help you prevent any sexually transmitted disease. All right, so it is never going to be oral pills. Next is, we are left with two options now, condoms and copper T. Okay, now what is copper T? Copper T is usually say a small instrument, you can say, which is in the shape of a T, which is placed, or which females basically used. It is a method of contraception, no doubt, but it does not give us any guarantee of not transferring sexually transmitted diseases. Okay, so again, copper T is not going to guarantee you that it is not going to transmit the diseases. Now, what is the most safest option that you see here is condoms. Now, why condoms? Because it is simply going to cover the organ. All right, there is going to be no fluid which is going to be let out from the male part, because of which, firstly, there is going to be no contact of fluids. Secondly, there is going to be no contact of the male as well as the female organ, skin to skin, right? So if you actually practically think about all these four options, it is the condoms which is the most safest, which is going to help prevent transferring of sexually transmitted diseases. Okay, are we clear with that? Most of the students tend to get confused between condoms and copper T, but again, as I mentioned, copper T is not the safest method of preventing sexually transmitted diseases. It is a method of contraception, no doubt, but it will not prevent transfer of diseases. All right. So going forward, in human males, the testes lie in the scrotum because it helps in. Basically, just remember, functions of the testes which are present in the bag-like structure, which is the scrotum, are playing the major role of formation of the sperms. All right. The sperm formation takes place in the testes, which are present in the scrotum. Okay. Are we clear with that? So now last part is some fill in the blanks. Let's just get done with this. The process of reproduction involving only one cell or one parent. When we are talking about one parent, we are not talking about sex at all. So it is simple. It is going to be asexual reproduction or you can say uniparental or asexual. Okay. Next, dash is a duct coming from the urinary bladder which carries the sperms. We just saw it is vas deferens. Process of fertilization takes place in the dash tube. Again, we saw that it takes place in the fallopian tube. Dash is the ability of an organism to replace its lost body parts. That is regeneration. Now, this is a very common thing which is observed in a lizard, which when loses its tail, it has the ability of regeneration of its tail within few days. Okay, so that is nothing but regeneration. Next, dash is the production of new plants from stem. We've just seen this. It is vegetative propagation. Dash is the term used to refer the commencement of menstruation at puberty. Okay, commencement means nothing but the start, the beginning. So whenever menses start, we call it menarche. Okay, it is called as menarche. And whenever the menses come to an end, say around the age of 40 or 50, it is known as menopause. All right. So start is the menarche and stop is the menopause. All right. Next, dash is a virus that causes AIDS. Very simple. It is the HIV, that is the human immunodeficiency virus. Okay, guys, are we clear with everything with regards to reproduction? These are very basic ones actually. I am definitely going to try to come up with more MCQs on reproduction. So till then, stay tuned to the channel and I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.